Hey, let me ask you guys something real. If your job disappeared tomorrow, would your life fall apart? Because for a lot of us it would. In all seriousness, it totally would. We spend 40 plus hours a week making someone else rich. That's the truth of it. Following rules only to be exhausted by Friday, get a few days off, and then get up and do it again every Monday, guys. That's not freedom, man. That's survival. But what if you could start creating your own income, your own economy, and stop relying on a paycheck that you don't control? Guys, in this video, hang with me. I'm going to show you why your job isn't your future. We're going to have some straightforward talk here, exactly how to start building real financial freedom through digital income, even if you're 40, 50, 60 like me and still working full time. And then at the end, I've got a powerful free guide for you to help you take your first step today. So number one, let's just talk about the problem. The problem is job dependency and the illusion of security. And we're going to talk about something uncomfortable, but necessary, which is job dependency. The belief that your paycheck is your safety net. We've been conditioned to think that having a job meant we were secure, right? That if we work hard, stay loyal, show up every day, we'll be rewarded with stability, benefits, and one day freedom. But let's be real. That ain't true, man. That's a lie. For most of us, we were raised at a time when we were, believed that 9 to 5 was the way to go. That's the secure path. Go to work, collect your paycheck, repeat. But let's be honest. What's happening nowadays? The hours are long, the pay is capped, the stress is high, and retirement's either a myth or decades away. Companies have changed. What they offer has changed. The economy has changed. And here's the truth, man. If we died tomorrow, they'd replace us in no time. Within a week, they'd have somebody else in that chair. So, you're working harder than ever, but your income is stuck. And some of the things that people avoid thinking about, I did for a long time. We don't control our income when working for somebody else. Our employer does. But if they have one meeting or one reorganization or company restructure, one layoff, your paycheck could disappear. You could have been the hardest worker on your team or in the company and get replaced, especially if you're over 40. They want somebody younger, less expensive. They don't want to hear your ideas that you've, generated through years of experience, perhaps in a field that you're in. And most importantly, our time isn't ours. We're just trading our most valuable asset, which is time. Once it's gone, it's gone. You cannot get it back for a capped paycheck. So we're clocking in, we're doing all the things, we're following the rules, but we're building their dream and not ours. And here's something that really used to irritate me. You have to, when you want a time off working so hard all that time, you have to ask for time off like you're a freaking kid, right? That's not freedom. That's called feudalism with maybe a 401k, and we don't get paid what we're worth. We're getting paid what the role is worth, what they perceive that role to be worth. So our effort really doesn't equal our reward. I've trained new hires, I've managed projects, I have saved companies or departments thousands of dollars and still only getting nothing more than 3% raise, So it's really an illusion, but this is what keeps people stuck. Security isn't real when someone else controls your income. That is the truth of it. But it feels secure because it's predictable, but predictability doesn't equal power, control of our time and our income, like I referenced before. In fact, the longer you stay in a position like that, a job that underpays and undervalues you, the more risk you're actually taking, because you're putting your future in someone else's hands. That's really the truth of it. So when people say, or I've thought of this too, well, at least I have a job. But then I ask myself, do I really have security? Or do I just have predictable stress, capped income, and no exit plan? And then, it's not our fault. It wasn't my fault. We were all taught this was the path since we were kids. But just because it was normal doesn't mean it's working. And that's pretty much, that's the point that I got to. It's just not working. And that's why now, more than ever before, we need to build something of our own, something that pays us first, something that will grow with us and won't drain us. And that's really what I was looking for. Man, this stuff used to keep me up at night. I gotta find another income stream. I gotta be able to do it while I'm working full time. I can't quit my job because I need my job, and I'm thankful for my job that I have. And yes, of course, we should always come from a space of gratitude, but there's nothing wrong in wanting more. And that's my point here. There's nothing wrong with the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling. And guess what? You are not the only one. It's time to stop trading time for money and start building something that pays you and not your boss. So we have to shift our thinking. I had to shift my thinking as well into creating my own economy. But what did that mean? So all right, Tony, you're pretty clear about the job not being the future, but then what is? So here's the shift that changed everything for me. Instead of relying on someone else's paycheck, I decided to build my own economy. I decided to take another chance on myself, to bet on myself, and to go for it again. So what does it mean? What does it mean when I say build my own economy? What it means and what it's meaning is I'm taking back control of my income. I'm creating something that I could continue to get paid on over and over again. All the content I create, all the posts that I have, all the reels, all of that continues to work for me even when I'm sleeping or I'm at my 9 to 5 or I'm doing something on the weekend. I get to decide when I'm going to work, how I want to work, and who I want to work with. I'm not limited by hours, location, or job titles. It's about building income that doesn't stop when I stop. That income that I own, everything that I created. And, really, this is the best time in history to start looking at other options online through digital income. Really with just your phone, your laptop, your iPad, you can create income streams online. I realized I didn't need a degree. I didn't need any fancy tech background, any business background. I just needed the right system that was proven, that was easy to get started, and then have the right support. But most importantly, pulling the trigger and making a decision to get started. And before you say, but I don't know how, let me tell you, I didn't either. I was so disillusioned, so disappointed in the digital marketing space, affiliate marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it. It was rough, shiny object syndrome. This is an easier way. Well, now you got to get this to buy this, and then you got a website, and then you got to build a funnel, and then there's too many things. So I kept looking for something easier because the support wasn't there, and I was still working full time, and I had stopped and started so many times. But here's what I realized, and why this shift is so powerful for those of us that are 40 plus and still working full time. We have life experiences. And that's just one thing that gives you an edge in the digital space, because you're going to create content, you're going to be pulling things from your own experience and sharing that with others. We already know how to show up and stay consistent, right? We already know how to get to work on time. We're already working hard, and now it's time to make that hard work pay for us. And those are some things that I really had to take to heart, and could see that I'm really we're all in a great spot here, just with those 3 things that I've mentioned. And when you start building your own digital income, you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for a raise. You stop waiting for retirement, and you start creating options. And that's one thing, getting stuck in that 9 to 5, you don't have an option. You've got to get up and go. You've got to do it. You've got to stay 8 hours. You can't take time off until, that your permission comes in, or your authorization comes in, or Saturday and Sunday, And that's really, really was a huge shift for me. And it's just exactly what I started doing. I just took a chance on myself. I found this digital platform. The community is really something that I needed to offer me that support. And, I'm helping others do the same thing. I'm using a done-for-you system that's simple, proven, and is built for people just like us, 40 plus, maybe unsuccessful in the past, new to digital marketing space, working full time. It's in my exit from job dependency and my entry into digital freedom. And you could have the same thing too. And what does that mean, digital freedom? It means having a system that generates income on my terms. You know, it means earning a high income, learning a high income skill set with like digital marketing and applying it through a business that works for me. So that's essentially what the course offers you. It teaches you that high income skill. Once you earn that skill, you have it. You do not lose it at all. It means earning money without clocking in for me, begging for raises, or looking for bonuses, or hoping that I get my commission paid out. You know, I started doing this while I'm, still working full time, and trust me, it's possible. I was able to set up my business in a weekend. I'm not kidding you. It was cut and paste, over the shoulder training, and that's how you get started. Just change. I mean, guys, I'm speechless, which is very rare for me. But a digital product that changed everything. I started with something simple, a digital business system that's already built, already tested. Tens of thousands of people are already using the system, designed especially for beginners who are still working full time. So man, it just checked off all the boxes for me. And a couple of things that really I didn't know I needed, but I realized that, hey, this is the way to get started, not creating my own course. So I was able to get something that was already done for you. I didn't have to build any fancy websites or funnels. It was literally copy and paste. Another great part is the 100% commission. So I'm earning $599 per sale straight to me. No upman, no middle, upline middleman. I don't have to split commissions with anybody. The training was like over the shoulder, step-by-step instruction showing exactly what I need to do, how to set up, how to launch, and how to start earning, how to create content, whatever platform you want to utilize, social media platform. So there was no guesswork, there was no tech overwhelm, no endless YouTube rabbit holes, which I was doing before, trying to piece it all together and figure out what goes next in what order, what sequence. But probably the best thing about this whole thing is the real support and community, because I wasn't alone. I had the support that I needed and access to, a community of people like myself who are 40 plus, working full time, have been unsuccessful in the past, and are really beginners to digital marketing. And I was able to get unstuck. So I can go to, Saturday, there's Saturday schools, there's Tuesday office hours, there's live streams, there's one-on-one mentorship if that's what you need or would like. And to me, that really is something that I don't see a lot of other, digital marketers offering. And that's what really attracted me to this digital platform, was the community. And it is self-paced, so you can start, your business. You can put a little bit of time in the evenings and the weekends, anytime at lunch, grabbing an hour here or there. It's very doable. You guys, this is not about hype. I'm not trying to hype anything up. It's just sharing with you the exact blueprint I felt that would finally give me momentum and help me to start positioning myself to create an online digital income that is scalable. It's not about getting rich overnight. I'm not here to tell you that, it's just so, and tomorrow you're going to wake up and no, what it's about is never being broke again because someone else decided your worth, your hours, and basically your future. And that is so empowering. And anytime things I felt were maybe, I got stuck on something or I just kept telling myself that, it's what I used to feel like I, was just surviving, to stop that feeling, to stop that reality. And I felt like I was actually creating real financial options for myself. And yes, I definitely did. This is the thing that, gave me, what gave me like the check mark to do this and to move forward, because it was a complete done for you business, no guesswork, 100% commission is exactly what I was looking for, step-by-step training I could do after work, and then real support. That's really all I needed to know, like if this was doable. And then talking to other people who were going through the same thing, and I felt like I was building my own economy and showing others to do the same. And really, that's all this channel's about. That's all this channel's about. This channel is talking to folks like myself who are 40 plus, who are frustrated, who are stuck, who want to create more time freedom, more income freedom, financial freedom for themselves and for their family and their communities as well. So you guys listen, if you're like me, anything I said resonated with you, you know, you're tired of just relying on your job and you just want options, creating some set of control over your income, the next step is really simple. Excuse me. Down below, I've provided a link to a guide. It's called the Elite Guide to Digital Income, and it just breaks down from the very beginning how digital income works, why it's the smartest path in 2025, and how to get started without tech overwhelm or confusion, because I was really stuck there before, you know, I got into this platform here. You know, one thing to remember is that you already know this, that your job is not your future, but your decisions, now, they are your future. So get started now, you know, and really right now, you know, I'm just going to get real with you here. Most people, when they get to this part, they just keep scrolling. They hesitate. They're not sure. But if you're still here watching this video, that's not a coincidence. You're here because you're tired of being stuck. Something that I said was like, yeah, Tony nailed it on the head. You know, you're done waiting for the right time. There isn't. The time is now. There's not going to be a perfect time. You're not going to be sitting around going, oh gosh, you know, I got about, you know, 5 hours I can do something with. What should I do? That's not the way it is. You know, you can't just sit around and wait for the right time, the right energy, the right motivation. Let me tell you something. Motivation is overrated. You need discipline, and that's what this digital marketing course provided for me, discipline, because in the sense that there was a flow that I needed to do this before I went here. I couldn't just ping pong around. Discipline is showing up when you need help so you can get your questions answered. Those things were just beautiful for me, you know, and if you're ready to change your life, I'm telling you right now, this is the time to do it. It's April. We're going into, you know, the second portion of quarter of the year. It's time to get, you know, going now. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need a pro in front of the camera. You just need to take the first step, and that first step is downloading that free guide. You know, who doesn't like free? It's not a PDF though. It's really a guide. It's kind of a roadmap. It's a shortcut to clarity, you might say. A breakdown of exactly how to create your own economy using digital tools, even if you're a total beginner. I'm telling you guys. You know, but if you wait, the longer you delay, the longer you'll be stuck. The longer you wait, the more exhausted you'll be, overworked, underpaid you'll feel. And I think you probably said you were ready. That's still why you're on YouTube watching videos about how to get started, right? So now you just got to prove it to yourself. If you're ready, let's go. Let's prove it to yourself. Click the link in the description, get the guide, and let's get you on that path today. And if anything I said in this video spoke to you, resonated with you, just drop a comment below. Let me know where you're at right now. If you're still working full-time like me, ready to make that first $5.99 online, let's talk about it. Be happy to share a little bit more with you and answer any questions that you have. And, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe. This way you'll continue to get my videos. That's, like I said, this channel is dedicated to. I've got so much more coming, you guys. Ways to help you and break free and build your digital income on your own terms. Again, this is your time. This is our time. This is the shift we've been waiting for. Let's build it together. You're not alone. I look forward to seeing you in our community. Bye-bye.